Guten Tag, my dear German friends. Top 10 words we should steal from Germany. What are those words and who are we? We're gonna find out during this reaction, so tune in till the end, guys. Also, let's not forget to like, subscribe, click the bell for notification. If you want to support the channel, if you like the content that I'm making, you're welcome to become a member or support the channel with donations. It will help to build and make the channel even better. Anyways, guys, let's go.
Wanderlust, Schadenfreude, Doppelgänger, Zeitgeist. English speakers have occasionally turned to German to help fill gaps in our language. German just has this way of expressing in one word what would normally take us, I don't know, 3. But these ones are just the tip of the iceberg of what dear old Deutsch has to offer. So let's dive below the surface. Here are my top 10 untranslatable German words that English should steal. Los geht's. Let's go. So first on my list, at number 10, is the shortest and the sweetest. It's Yine.
I would read it as Jane, like a character from a movie, like a fantasy movie, you know, Jane.
So you know the German for yes is ja, and the German for no
in Latvian it's ja also.
Is nine. Well, if you smoosh them together, you get Yine. And it means exactly what it sounds like, a mix between yes and no. Yes. It is the perfect word for when you could go either way. Like, would you like another of these salt-filled cheese-covered pretzels? Yine. They are delicious, but I'd also like to not have a heart attack in my 30s. It's a yes, but also a no.
I feel like it also kind of reflects this like middle of the road attitude that a lot of Germans have.
That's my pal Marie, a real-life German. She's going to help me explain a few of these.
For me, it would be if somebody would ask me,
I'm sorry, I need to just talk about these beautiful eyes of this woman. Look how pure and beautiful and deep her eyes is. This is something.
Are you looking forward to your next work week? I'd go, Yine. There are things that will be fun, but there is also stuff I'm not excited about.
The word was popularized in the 1990s by Hamburg hip-hop outfit Fetters Brot and their somewhat humorous song, Yine. In it, a guy is faced with a series of dilemmas, such as whether or not he should cheat on his girlfriend who's gone on holiday without him. When he gets a tempting offer from another woman, he says,
so like, okay, he says Yine and what? So he cheated or not? Or he like didn't cheat? Ah, okay, I get it. This is like when you say Yine, right? Then you're not sure. So basically you're in the middle, you're just thinking. You're not taking action, you just I don't know. It sounds it's 50-50, something like that.
Yine is only at number 10 on this list. Is that we might be better off coming up with our own yes-no hybrid. I mean, Swedish has done, and I bet there are others. So how about yo? No, that's already taken. Ness? What do you think? Is that one any good? Yine.
I know a rapper. His name is Nas.
At number 9, the next German word that I think we should slot into the English language is Kummerspeck.
Oh, Kummerspeck. It's something with the meat, for sure. Speck, it's like a meat in Russian. Speck.
This one down into two parts. Kummer, meaning sorrow or grief, and Speck, meaning bacon.
Yeah!
Is that little bit
I told you, man.
You may have taken on when you've turned to good lady gluttony for solace. This is the result of comfort eating, basically.
Exactly. So
I
would say probably the most common example is if somebody just went through a breakup or through another sad event in their life, and then they gain a little bit of weight because they maybe spend more time in bed, more time eating junk food. And then they usually, once they reappear into society, will say, oh, ich weiß, ich habe Kummerspeck zugelegt. Or they'll be like, yeah, Kummerspeck.
We've all done it, right? I mean, who can honestly say that they've never sought solace in the bottom of a tub of Ben and Jerry's? But how exactly do you explain your temporarily inflated state? No English word is going to cut it. That's why we need a helping of German grief bacon. We need the word Kummerspeck. Up next at number
How does like okay, I got it. No, nothing,
8,
nothing.
it's Backpfeifengesicht. The
Oh
German
my
language.
gosh, what kind of word is this? Backf, man. Who was the masochist who invented this word?
Is great for helping us describe some of the darker feelings that all
Yeah,
humans experience
darker
at one time
feelings.
or another. The word Schadenfreude is such a gift
This word is overall dark and very long and very hard to pronounce. It's already hard, you know.
because who hasn't taken pleasure in someone else's misfortune, even if the English lexicon likes to pretend that we haven't. Backpfeifengesicht is another word that isn't nice, but speaks to something that we have all experienced. We've all encountered someone with a Backpfeifengesicht. That is, a face that's just asking for a slap.
You would say, oh, der hat so ein Backpfeifengesicht. He has such a Backpfeifengesicht. He has such a slappable face.
As German band Die Ärzte melodically put it,
It essentially kind of means that you have an irritating appearance or that you're ugly. It's not a kind word.
Backpfeife is a slap to the cheek, and Gesicht is just face. There's also another word, Ohrfeigengesicht. Ohrfeigen is, to box someone's ears. Backpfeifengesicht expresses in one word something that it would take English, 2 or 3. It's not higher up on the list, though, because, well, one, I'm not sure now's a great time to be introducing new insults to the English language. And 2, it takes a fair bit of practice to get right. But once you've got it, it is enormously satisfying. Backpfeifengesicht.
Why do Germans have such a long words and very hard words? Like, I know, like, literally, like, English language, Latvian, Russian. In these languages, I don't find these kind of, like, hard words, Maybe in Russian there are some, right? But, I mean, this one is really hard. Like, long, hard. Oh my gosh. What happened to you Germans? Why do you guys invented those hard words, man?
Potential import into English. It's Sprachgefühl. Sprachgefühl literally means language feeling, but its meaning as a whole is a little harder to express. But maybe that's because I myself do not have Sprachgefühl. Sprachgefühl is the intuitive ability to know the right words to say. Someone with Sprachgefühl always reaches for the perfect term or ideal idiom in any situation. I think in English we would maybe say that someone has a way with words, or they are erudite or eloquent. But Sprachgefühl is more versatile than those words, because you can also have a Sprachgefühl for a foreign language. I think we would perhaps call it having a feel for the language. If you just kind of have a knack for it, du hast ein gutes Sprachgefühl.
Du hast mich. Sorry, guys, sorry.
Difficult. You developed a good Sprachgefühl for it. This word actually already has some currency in English, but you only find it in very highbrow usage. I'd like to see all of us get a little bit of Sprachgefühl.
I like
now, if you want to develop
Sprachgefühl.
your own Sprachgefühl for a foreign language,
Okay,
may I heartily recommend to you Babbel,
no,
who've
thank
sponsored
you.
this video. You don't need
Okay,
me to tell
Babbel
you
is
how
good, guys.
rewarding learning a language
Just to supporting
can be,
the
not
author.
least because you later
then-
all German. And to our number 6, Sturmfrei. It breaks down
Stormfrei.
into the words for storm
Yeah.
and free, and it expresses the unique state of freedom that comes with being left alone in the house. Being able to do as you please without the usual storm of consequences. The best example would be if you're a teenager and your parents are out of town. You would have Sturmfrei, but it works for adults too.
Like, for example, I could write my friend, hey, ich hab grad sturmfrei, which would mean, hey, there's no one else here. Come over, we can party.
Ein sturmfreier Bude, I've also heard, right? Which is like a a free house. By the way, German also has these two words specifically for when your partner, wife or husband.
I know that in America, kids love when Sturmfrei happens because then they like ask all the kids from school to come over and then they party hard. You know what I mean? And destroy the house.
Husband temporarily isn't around. They translate into straw widow and straw widower. Again, we're talking about situations that we've all been in at one time or another, but that English is currently ill-equipped to describe. That's why Sturmfrei has stormed its way onto my list of German words that we should steal. Okay, we're into the top 5. At number 5, I give you Schnapsidee. Now we can
okay, let me think about the Schnapsidee. It means Schnaps, it's like vodka, like something like that. Like it's alcohol, that's what I mean. Schnapsidee, it means probably something related with hangover, maybe, I don't know.
Translate this as Schnaps idea with reference to Germany's hard liquor of choice. And it describes something that seemed like a good idea when you were drunk, but less so in the cold light of day.
If somebody says das war eine Schnapsidee, it usually means it didn't work out.
Would they be saying that it was literally an idea they had when they were drunk? Or could it be a bit like saying it was a pipe dream, it was never going to work out, I got carried away?
Exactly, it means I got carried away.
Schnapsidee isn't the only handy German term that comes served with a shot. There's also the doubly excellent word Schnapszahl, meaning Schnaps number. A Schnapszahl is a number like 11 or 33 or 55, one that gives you the impression that you're seeing double. How big a part of German culture is Schnaps?
Huge. So you'll have a Schnaps while you're playing cards with your friends. You'll have a Schnaps after dinner. And when I have a stomach ache, my grandmother will...
What? You have Schnaps after dinner? Like, no? How often you guys have a Schnaps after dinner, man? What kind of like... How many degrees are in Schnaps? I know that vodka is 40 degrees, right? How many degrees is in Schnaps? I want to hear your answers, guys, please.
Be like, here's a shot of Schnaps.
While we're talking German, Tipple, I simply have to introduce...
I'm alright, man. My stomach is alright. You know, there's a kid, like a 6-year-old kid. Oh, my stomach hurts. Here you go. Drink some Schnaps, you know, like, you know, have a cigarette also on the top. Now it feels better. Yeah, well, it feels much better. It was a bad joke, but it is what it is.
To one of my favorite German words of all time, Wegbier. You could translate it as way beer, perhaps, and it's the bottle of beer you buy, perhaps from one of Germany's famous late shops, to drink on your way somewhere else. Usually somewhere where you intend to drink even more of them. One of the best things about this country is that you can drink in the street and no one has a go at you.
Seriously?
They don't have a go at you for. Anyway, Marie,
for sure.
Boozy terms?
How's that possible? It's not possible, man. I don't believe this. So basically, if you drink alcohol in Germany on the street, you won't get a ticket for that. Here in Latvia, you will straight away get policemen come, you know, and then they put a ticket on you, 30 euros, you know, for drinking alcohol in public places. It's not allowed over here. Man, no. I got like caught 2 times in my life for that.
You could borrow?
One more important one related to beer is called Konterbier. So the counter beer, and essentially it's a beer to counter your hangover. It's the beer that you drink the next day after a heavy night of drinking when you're very hungover and you need a remedy, and so you have a small beer, and that's your Konterbier to counter your hangover. Fight fire.
You know, when it's very sad when you like drink the small beer and then you go vomit straight away. It didn't help at all.
With fire.
That is perfect. Yeah, we have the phrase, the hair of the dog that bit you, which I think is a reference to an old rabies cure. And what's the best hair of the dog that you can get? It's an extra little beer, little Konter beer.
Just a little one.
Small
now,
one.
I'm a little worried that all this talk of alcohol has knocked us a little bit off course. So let's get back to our top 10 German words that English should steal. And at number 4, it's Kopfkino. Now this literally means
something related with the cinema, with the movies, because of the word kino. What means Kopf? I don't know.
Head cinema, and it is all about the power of your imagination. The theatre of the mind
Kop-
is something that
Kino.
you occasionally
Kop-
hear in English, right? But that's basically what this is, right? It's how things play out in your head.
Exactly. So it usually will be used if you're, for example, having a conversation with someone and they say something that evokes pretty vivid images for you mentally. So if my friend says, "Oh, I'm going to the Maldives tomorrow," then I'll be like, "Oh, Kopfkino," because I'll be like imagining her in the Maldives or imagining me in the Maldives, and I'll have this very vivid movie almost running through my mind.
Kopfkino expresses something simply beyond the word imagination. That's why German has both. And I think we should too. That's why it's at number 4. I just want to take a moment.
Wait, I think imagination is one thing, but another thing is thinking ahead, imagining something that is happening ahead, like, for example, you fell in love and you straight away start imagining that you're gonna be with this person. You like know the person 1 hour, but you imagine that you're gonna like have kids, you're gonna get married. The imagination works, but at the same time, it's like a bit another imagination that like normal imagination would do. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know.
Here to discuss why German is apparently so good at coining the right term for the right moment. Well, if you look back at the words we've discussed so far, a lot of them have something in common. They're essentially just compounds made up of 2 or 3 other German nouns that have been attached to one another, like train carriages. And this is what German speakers down the centuries have been most likely to do when they've needed a new term for something. Whereas in English, we've tended to look beyond our own language when we've needed a new word. We've either built a new one from Latin or Greek or borrowed one from another language. When the television came along, we named it using this unwieldy mix of Latin and Greek. Whereas in German, it was named using existing German terms. By the way, television and Fernseher mean exactly the same thing. It'd be as if we'd called the TV the Farseer. But there hasn't always been this difference in approaches between English and German. Old English, the language as it was being spoken up until around 1,000 years ago, also built up words by slamming together other ones. A person's body was their bone house. And there's this beautiful Old English word, Uchtkeare, which meant dawn care or dawn sorrow. It's the angst that you get as you're lying in bed at night, a sensation that certainly did not die out with the Anglo-Saxons. In fact, maybe that's one word that we should also start using too. My point is, changes in the way that English works mean we've lost the ability to elegantly build up words in the way that German does. And that's why, in the cases that I've mentioned, we need Germans' help. Okay, let's get back to it. We're into the top
Germans, we need your help. We need your help, Germans. Please help us.
3. And at number 3, it is Fanv. So you know homesickness? Well, this is the precise opposite. Fern means far, like it does in Fernseher, and Weh is sort of soreness. Fernweh is a yearning for faraway lands.
If I haven't taken a vacation in a long time, then I'll start feeling really fanvy and start looking at Google Street View of Algeria or Spain or wherever.
Yeah.
But actually, it reminds me of another German word that we already have taken into our language, because I think this is the closest word to it in English, and that's people in English might pronounce it wanderlust, but Wanderlust, right?
I have heard this word wanderlust. I don't know. He said it today or not?
The need to sort of get out there is what Wanderlust is, right?
Yeah, in German it's love of hiking. I guess it's love of exploring.
Yeah.
So I would use Wanderlust pretty literally if I'm going on a big hiking trip. Not just on your regular Sunday afternoon walk, but on a significant hiking trip. But Fanv is something tied to a long journey, a big vacation.
So I wonder if maybe it'd be worth us substituting out Wanderlust and replacing it with Fernweh, because actually Fernweh kind of fits our definition of wanderlust a bit better than even Wanderlust does.
We should try to establish that, yeah.
The campaign starts now. So German actually has Heimweh, homesickness, and Fernweh, away sickness, if you like. I suppose we could just start saying away sickness ourselves, but I recommend we take the rather more succinct Fanv and add it to the English lexicon. It's looking for an excuse to travel anyway. Okay, we're up at the business end now, the top two. And my number 2 German word that I think we should steal is Zugzwang. Zugzwang is used in those moments where circumstances have conspired to leave you with no choice but to act. When you're forced into taking a decision, you are in Zugzwang. The term actually comes from chess, where Zug means move and Zwang is force or compulsion. It's a point in the game.
Zugzwang now! Do it now!
Where you are forced to make a particular move, even if it's going to harm your chances of winning the game. It's an enormously useful term that has rightly found usage well beyond the Game of Kings.
For example, if somebody really has to make a decision because it's the last minute, then you would say, oh, der ist unter Zugzwang. He's forced to act.
That's
Yeah, do it faster. Like,
such a good word. I think this is one of the best examples we've got, because we experience people being in that position every day, or we find ourselves in that position maybe every day, and we don't have a word for it.
I think society would really benefit from having that term because it describes a human condition, a human situation pretty well. And it helps maybe understand other people's actions better.
Quite right. I realise that we have gone a little bit deep.
okay,
here, but
who's gonna be
anything
the
that
number
helps
one?
us to better relate to one another and comprehend each other's motivations is a good thing in my book. That's why Zugzwang is a
Zugzwang.
worthy runner-up. Okay, now it's time. The
Okay.
number 1 word that I think English should steal at the earliest possible opportunity. It's the word that fills every hard-working Helga or Heinrich's heart with
Scheiße for sure.
a glee that, until now, we've had to live without. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you FireArbend. So you know that bit of the day that you probably look forward to most? That bit after you finish work and before you go to bed. What do you call it?
The free
Well, let me
time.
stop you there, because you don't call it anything, because we don't have a word for it. But German does, and it is FireArbend.
Wait,
FireArbend is
isn't like the free, just it's my free time and that's it?
the post-work evening, but it's much more beautiful than that because it means basically it's cause for celebration.
Indeed, FireArbend literally means celebration evening. It's a cause to celebrate every working day of the week. And who doesn't need that? Admittedly, the people you see blankly staring into middle distance on the train on the commute home don't appear to be in a particularly celebratory mood, but that's maybe because they haven't picked up their Wegbier on the way. I'm also not sure what this says about how much Germans enjoy.
I know that English people love to, especially office workers, after work go and have a pint of beer, you know, after hard days of work, just to relax and enjoy themselves, you know, celebrate the end of the day.
Enjoy their jobs. But usually the end of the day working in a German office comes with a chorus of schönen Feierabend, schönen Feierabend, have a great Feierabend, and I think we deserve that too.
That's
why
awesome, that's
Feierabend
awesome.
is top of my list of German words that I think English should steal. So which was your favourite? Let me know in the comments. There are also plenty more where these came from. By the way, Treppenwitz, Honigkuchenpferd, Sitzpinkler, which is probably worth a
Sitzpinkler,
whole video
yeah.
in
I know what means Sitzpinkler. It means a guy who sits on the toilet, pissing on the toilet while sitting, something like that.
itself. I'd welcome your suggestions for others. Next, check out my video about how to read German without actually being able to speak it.
Yeah, I mean, English will look at this video and they say, nah, mate, this is too hard. You know, it was bad impression of English people, but still, the point is that they won't take this. It's too hard, man. This is like, these words are just too big, really big and hard to pronounce, you know, and the pronunciations of English people and Germans are way different, I would say. Yeah, these words are shocking me, man. Shocking me. I mean, you need to use them every day during, you know, like your life to remember them. Without that, there's no way you can just write it down and remember them, because you need to use them. It was a nice video. I really enjoyed that one. Always love to learn something new about the German culture. And thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, click the bell for notifications. Support the channel by donates. Become a member, guys. See you in the next reaction videos. Bye.